So we are revising for tomorrow's exam and we are starting from topic 4. So for SL student in paper 1, topic 1, 2, 3 and 4 will come. And from the chapter 4, I told you 14 important questions. We are discussing these important questions first. And it will come in the theory part and the weightage is 5 to 6 marks only. Okay. Because from chapter they will ask you 15 marker pseudocode based question. Chapter 3, 15 to 20 marker questions will come. We will discuss all the possible questions today. Chapter 2, 6 to 8 marker questions can come from chapter 2. Chapter 1, 15 to 20 marks questions can come from topic 1. Okay. And we are discussing all. So you can see for paper 1, chapter 1 and chapter 3 are very, very, very important. Very important for theory part. Okay. Chapter 4 is, so after half an hour or after 1 hour, we will practice pseudocode. Now, from the theory section, let's see what they can ask. So I'm showing you this topic 4 starts from here. Identify the procedure. So this is not a theory activity. So again, the pseudocode thing. Explain the role of sub-procedure. Now, sub-procedures are also known as subprogram. Now, what question they can make? Tell me, define subprogram. How you will define subprogram?
Aren't subprograms programs that are, for example, like, oh my wait, I wrote them here. Subprograms were the smaller programs of like parent code.
Write code for any specific functionality. Okay. So sub-procedure means code for any specific functionality. Okay, is this clear? So you are also saying the same thing, the smaller code. So why we are saying it is smaller? Because we are writing code for a specific functionality. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
What else they can ask? They can ask advantage. What are the advantage of sub-procedure?
Is it reusability?
Reusability. So this question can come of 4 marks and they can ask you 2 advantage. So what you will do? You will write the heading usability. Usability, if you are writing usability, it is a terminology. They will give you 1 mark for this. Now, how you will explain it in terms of advantage of sub-procedure?
So reusability, once the code is written for a specific function, you can use it for like other classes.
Right. You can call it multiple times. You will not use term classes because it is paper 1. You will just write, we can call it multiple times. Okay. So, 1 mark for explanation. Now, tell me the advantage, another advantage of sub-procedure.
Reusability, you can cost. And isn't it, for example, very specific? So it's easy to like, if there is errors, it's easy to debug.
Right. So heading is easy debugging. So debugging is the heading. Once you will write the terminology, you are getting 1 marks, then you will explain it. So you will say it is easy to find errors in the small program instead of one big complex problem. Okay. Okay. So these are the possible questions. Now, again, this is if else based problem, if else based input. Okay, you already know Gantt chart, right? Because
I do.
So Gantt chart, you are showing why we use Gantt chart?
To plan out the procedure of, for example, transitioning to another program or developing a program.
Yes, so that we can show the timeline, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of question they can give in your computer science? Maybe they will give you one chart, and here, let's say you are planning. You are planning of new system in this part. Then you start designing. So maybe this part. Then you are start coding. So you have doing coding like this way. And same way testing. So they can ask you from this task, what are the concurrent processes and what are the sequential tasks here. So this question can come.
Yeah.
So you can manage planning and design are sequential because design is the start after planning. Coding and testing are concurrent because they are happening together.
At the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can identify. Fine. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now let's come to precondition. What is precondition? So precondition is something whenever you are performing any task, you have to check some criteria before. Okay. For example, if you are making cake, like I'm giving you non-computing example.
Uh-huh.
So if you
You
want
have to check if you have flour, eggs, milk.
preheat the oven, right?
Yeah.
And some flask and this thing, right? So there are some precondition. You must have that flask. You must preheat the oven with 180 degrees Celsius, something, right? So same way. So if in some questions they can ask you that you have to add, let's say you have to add 10 positive integers. Let's say this is the question. So what is the precondition? The precondition is that you will check that number is positive or not, right?
Ah, okay.
Okay, like this way.
Yeah.
These are the preconditions. Okay. And post condition means whenever you are executing something, whatever you have to check some condition after. You can find this in your notes also.
Mm-hmm.
Now, identify this thing is not important. Concurrently, you can manage this abstraction. Okay. What is abstraction? Define abstraction is important from my side for this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
How you will define abstraction?
Is an abstraction I'm not gonna try confuse it with encapsulation, but abstraction is when you have like little pieces um from the code and you can use them in other codes.
Right, but it is paper one. In paper one, you will give general definition. So abstraction means hiding complex implementation. You can write.
Yeah, because in paper two it's more specific, right? Towards object-oriented programming.
No, but we are not saying in context of OOP. Tomorrow you have paper one. Okay.
That's
So we are
yeah.
doing complex implementation and showing only essential features.
Okay.
Only essential features. You should note down this thing. This can come in exam tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
abstraction is the feature where we are hiding complex implementation of a system and just showing only essential features. For example, you and me both know how to drive a car, let's say. So I know if I will like accelerate, car will speed up. But I don't know how things are working in like how engine is working. What is the what impact of this acceleration will have on the engine? We don't know. So we don't know the complex details of the car. Okay, car engine
Okay.
circuitry. We just know we have to press this. That's it.
Yeah.
So hiding complex implementation of the system and showing only essential feature. This concept is known as abstraction. Done?
Yeah.
Okay. You can take a screenshot because we have very less time. So you just take a
Mm.
screenshot whenever it is needed. Okay. So now let's
Okay.
why abstraction is required in the derivation. So again, you can write the same answer because obviously this part should not come because it is not OOP. Okay. Student
Okay.
aware of object, but this part is very least important from my side because why? Because they can check this knowledge in paper two.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Right. But if in case they are asking, you can write. If they are asking object, you can write it's a real world entity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let's come to this part. Construct an abstraction from a specified situation. A school can be decomposed into faculties, faculty can be decomposed into department, levels of abstraction through successive decomposition. This question will not come like this way. They will
Oh.
ask you, let's say there is a any big system and you have to show the structure chart. So we will discuss this structure chart in chapter 1. Structure chart means decomposing decomposing one big system into various subsystems.
Okay.
Okay. DOA in 2024 November paper, they asked definition of system flowchart. Okay, do you remember you draw system flowchart in criterion B?
Yeah,
If they
I
can
remember.
this question, this means this year they can ask define DFD and structure chart. This is important. Although it is in chapter 1. Okay, data flow diagram and structure chart definition. Structure chart is just a main module. Do you remember your criterion B main module?
Yeah.
Where you are dividing your big system into smaller system, like the rental system, let's say bike rental system. So in a bike rental system, you are dividing the user into two parts. One is admin. No, you have only one admin. And admin can perform multiple tasks like add new bike, then view bikes, then impose fine, and then return bike. So when you divide one system into smaller part, we call it decompositions and structure chart. Okay.
Okay.
Distinguish between a real world entity and its abstraction. The map. Okay. Real world entity means object
Object, yeah.
having some characteristics and behavior. Abstraction means hiding the complex details. So you can use, I'm showing you from where you will give this answer. I'm showing you. You can see. Just a minute. You can see. Abstraction refers to the process of simplifying. Okay, this is like very typical. The definition I gave you, it is easy. Abstraction means hiding complex details, complex
Implementation,
and
sharing any essential feature.
essential feature. When that difference will come, so this is important for this year. This is important for like this is year 2025 May. It represent a real person, place, or thing, means something which is real, which exists in real world, where abstraction is just an idea that may or may not have a physical existence. Okay. Real world entity can be observed, measured, or interacted, whereas abstraction cannot be directly observed or measured. Okay. So you
Okay.
any two you should learn any two difference, or you can
Okay.
you know this thing, it has a specific property and attribute, it does not have any specific property and attribute. So whatever features you have in object, it will not in abstraction. It is something which is real world, it exists in real world, but it is just a concept or idea. Okay.
Okay.
Question is important from my side this year.
Okay.
Let's come back to the computer science guide again. Okay, so they can ask you this question. Now, let's come to this part. Describe the characteristics. So we will quickly discuss this, but I think you already know them, the pseudocode and the description.
Yeah, that's fine.
Means linear search.
The year.
Bubble
Yeah.
sort. Till 100%. Okay, 100% question out of these 4 algorithms will come. Okay, now
Okay.
the standard operation of collection. So first, quickly tell me what is collection.
Wasn't collection like the definition of it or the features of collection?
Define. The definition is also a feature. Collection
Isn't
is
it?
data structure.
Yeah, is a group of elements like similar elements and can like dynamically change.
No.
Oh no.
Collection can store multiple like collection can store different kind of data under single name. Collection is a dynamic data structure that can grow and shrink. That can
So the dynamic data structure. Okay, that's the word.
Dynamic data structure means something which is expanding.
Yeah, can change.
Means size is not fixed, unlike array. Size is not fixed, unlike arrays. Okay. So collection is a dynamic data structure that can grow and shrink. This means its size is not fixed. And whereas array means something where size is fixed. Size is always fixed, and that's why array is static data structure. Okay.
Okay.
You remember in paper 2 when you were doing coding, you are making array. Whenever you make array in
Yeah,
Java, usually write integer a equal to new int, then size, let's say 10. So if you are not giving size here, the program will generate an error because array is a static data structure. Okay. Collection is
Okay.
something which is dynamic. Another thing is that in array, you can see if you are creating array A, you can store only integers, right?
Yeah.
You can create array which is containing object of customer class. This means it will hold only customer object. But this means array is a collection of same type of elements. Same type of elements, right? But collection can store different kind of elements, different type of elements.
So array is a static data structure, not a dynamic.
First is it is a static, collection is dynamic. Okay. Collection can store different type of elements, whereas array can store only same type of data. Okay. Similarity is, what is the similarity between array and collection? Both can store multiple elements. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Standard operation of collection has next, get next, reset next, and add item. Only these four operations are in your syllabus. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So you will revise all of them. Like we will solve some problems, 2 problems based on collection. Okay.
Okay.
After half an hour, once we will discuss the theory. This question, this question came in 2023 of 2 marks maybe. They were asking, describe one operation of collection. So you can write get next or has next, and you have to describe that get next is used to fetch the value from the collection. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And do you know the meaning of other these methods? Has next, what has next is doing.
Oh yeah, I understand them, and in the code I can write them. It's usually the first is reset next to start like again, and then get next is to pick up the next element in the collection, and then has next is like if it has. That's how
If collection have some value, then it is true.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Come to this part. Advantage and disadvantage of binary search. Tell me the advantage of binary search as opposed to sequential search.
Binary search is faster as it has for example, the elements, whereas linear search, it goes one by one by one. And also binary search is you have to sort the elements, like you have to put them in alphabetical order or descending, ascending, whereas linear, you don't have to.
So is this a disadvantage or advantage?
Like the way sorting is a disadvantage because it adds extra computational.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you want to perform binary search, the array must be sorted. This means extra computation is needed. Extra computation is needed. This is disadvantage. In advantage, you will say that it is faster than linear search because we are not processing all the elements. In fact, every time we are discarding one half of the array. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can manage this. Now, analyze an algorithm presented as a flowchart. Maybe they will give you one flowchart and then they will ask you write the corresponding pseudocode or maybe tracing. So we will discuss this later. Okay, I will give you
Okay.
questions and we will solve some new questions also. I just want to give you one tip. They will not ask you to draw a flowchart. They will give you flowchart and they will ask you that you have to convert it into pseudocode. Okay, some kind of flowchart. So maybe you are doing something, then maybe you are checking some criteria. Okay, this criteria
Okay.
will have two branches, yes and no. Okay, then in that
Okay.
case, in this case, it is actually if else. Okay, but if by any chance you are finding some arrow which is connecting this criteria again, this means it indicates you are actually checking this criteria again, right? If you are checking this criteria again, this means it's a while loop. देखो, sorry, you are performing some kind of check. Let's say A is greater than 0, yes or no. By
That's a
chance,
bully.
right? If you are checking it only once, and then you are taking some decision, print A or something, then in that case, it is just a if else statement. But in the flow chart, if some link is going back to check the same criteria again, this means it's a while loop. While A is greater than 0, because obviously you will go back and check the criteria again. Okay? Are you understanding?
Okay.
Okay. We will these type of questions. Pseudocode we will do practice. Pseudocode we'll do practice. We will practice the questions later. Pseudocode. Pseudocode, this is tracing. Okay. Theory part again. Fundamental operation of computer.
Isn't that like the executing, storing, retrieving, comparing?
Right. When your computer is performing very simple tasks like adding, comparing, some fetching, and then sending data to memory, these operations are fundamental. Your CPU is calculating something, let's say 2 plus 3. This is fundamental operation. Then answer will go to the RAM again. So when you are storing some data in a RAM, this is also a fundamental operation. Okay. What is
Okay.
operation? Compound operation means when you are writing complex code where complex nesting of loops, array processing happening, for example, searching operation, sorting, some complex coding, finding the largest, finding the smallest. These are compound operations. Okay. And how you will distinguish them? Fundamental operations are basic operations performed by computer like this. Compound operation is made up of more than one, made up of multiple fundamentals. When you are connecting various fundamental operation, it becomes compound operation. Okay? Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Essential features of computer language. This question can come and this will come up 4 marks. They will ask you 2 essential features. So you have to make sure you are using only this vocabulary and you already have these in notes. You can see. This is the answer. So question is, you know the Java language, okay? Computer language is Java. So you can see we have a fixed vocabulary here. If meaning private has a specific meaning, means they have their own dictionary, right? The words and symbols used are set and unchanging with no variation. And you can learn this and you can learn this consistent syntax. For example, if you are writing if you are writing int a equal to 3, then obviously you can't write int 3 equal to a and then just write colon. You can't do this because this is not a grammatical rule of Java, right?
Yeah.
So every programming language follow consistent syntax. Is this clear? You can quickly read.
Mm-hmm. Parts of grammar. Yeah.
Okay. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What is high level language? Quickly tell me what is high level language.
Aren't high level languages like, for example, easier language, like they make it easier for developers to actually write the code. So
Right.
like what would be Java, Python,
Which is
pseudocode,
so we
pseudocode.
will write the high level language are easy to understand, as you said, but we will say
Yeah.
these are the language which are closer to English. That's why these are easy to understand. Okay. So they can
Mm-hmm.
ask define higher level language. So you will say these are the languages, programming languages which are closer to human, okay, or English. If they will ask you how it is different from low level language, so low level language are closer to machine, closer to machine. Machine means CPU. CPU means 0 and 1, binary language. Okay.
Okay.
Low level language are closer to hardware. High level language are closer to human. Okay, Dor?
Yep.
So explain the need of higher level language. So you will say this, you can explain this only. It is easy to understand. Okay, these are, they come
Well,
with,
allow them to understand the code easier, it'll be more efficient for them rather to have to learn a whole nother language.
right. And in your, to support, if this question will come of 4 marks tomorrow, to support your answer, you can use these points also. Consistent grammar, they have consistent grammar and easy to understand syntax and something, something. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's come to the translation process. Again, for a human, it is very easy to understand high level language, but ultimately you have whatever program you are writing in Java. If you are writing in Java, Java is high level language. CPU will understand only 0 and 1, binary, right? Binary means
Yeah.
machine code. It's a machine code. So this means you need some kind of translator. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
high level language, we have only two translator program, compiler and interpreter. Again, this part is important for this year. Okay,
Yeah, they might.
right. They might
Okay.
outline the need for a translation process from a high level language to machine executable code. So compiler and interpreter, you should know the difference, and difference are here. You can see what is the need. What is the need? Because we have to convert it into machine language because computer can understand only machine language. That's why.
Yeah.
But in this answer, you will 100% write description of compiler and interpreter. If they are asking what is the need of high level language, first you will say that high level language is very closer to English. So it must be converted into machine code so that CPU can understand it. Then you will say by using translator program, compiler and interpreter, we can convert high level language into CPU. Then second question is direct difference between the compiler and interpreter. So you can see, you can read it later in easy language. I'm quickly telling you. Let's say this is a Java program. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay.
Okay.
If you are using compiler, compiler will read this code in one go, in one go. Okay. Then notify for errors. Notify for errors, if any. And once you will fix the errors, once developer will fix the errors, then it will convert it into some object code, or we can say some exe file. Then you can distribute this exe file to various machine, means no need of recompilation.
Okay.
Okay, no need of recompilation. Why? Because once your object code is ready, now you can distribute it to Mac, to phone, or any platform. Any platform can run this object file. Okay, so this is the working of compiler, and then it can convert to that particular machine code after like this object file is runnable, and it will convert it, any machine will convert it into machine code. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. So what is the
Yeah.
summary? What is the summary of compiler? Quickly tell me. Compiler
The compiler is a direct translation
is a translator program to convert what?
to convert higher level language to machine language so that the CPU can run the program.
Right. And what are the two features of compiler?
A compiler can only process it only once. Yeah.
Compiler will read the entire high level language program in one go.
So that means it'll process it once, no? Like it'll read it once.
No, it's just, you will just write as it is. Compiler will read the program, entire program in one go, and then
Mm-hmm.
notify for errors if any. And after fixing this error, compiler will convert the file into object code. Okay, so that's why
Uh,
we need to recompile. Whereas interpreter, let's say this is a Java program, where although Java is not very based on interpreter, Python is interpreter based language.
mhm.
Interpreter is the same translator program. Interpreter is also a translator program. Every time I'm writing wrong spelling. Interpreter. Interpreter is again a translator program. It's a translator program which will convert high level language into machine. But how it will convert? Line by line reading. So this is the difference between compiler and interpreter. Compiler is
No,
the program in one go, but interpreter will read the line, then convert it into machine. Then second line, convert it into machine. Third line, convert it into machine. That's why interpreter is slower than compiler,
yeah, it's less efficient, no?
less efficient. Why it is less efficient? Because every time whenever you will run the program, interpreter will read things line by line. Every time you have to perform the translation process. But in compiler case, if you are doing compilation once, you don't need to recompile it because object file is already created. Okay. But in
Uh-huh.
case of interpreter, every time line by line reading is happening.
Okay.
Okay. Quickly tell me two difference between interpreter and compiler.
Um, Interpreter is when it gets translated line by line, therefore it's more inefficient. Whereas compiler only reads it once and can give, you said errors, no, regarding the code.
Both of them will notify for errors. So
Yeah.
it's a similarity actually. It's a similarity.
And wouldn't the compiler like only process the code if all the
Don't
errors are complete?
just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, Doa. So first difference is compiler read the high level language program in one go. First difference. Whereas interpreter read the high level program in line by line. Okay.
Okay.
Second difference. Compiler generate. Compiler generates object file. So
Mhm.
no need of recompilation. No need to recompile the program. Recompile the program and This is not done by interpreter. This is the second difference. Okay.
Okay.
Is clear? So you will connect the line. Compiler generate object file so that no need to to recompile the program. Whereas interpreter will not create any object files. It every time we need to read the program from the beginning. Okay. Tell
Yeah.
me similarity between compiler and interpreter.
Two similarities. Didn't we say that they both are translators from higher level to machine language?
Second,
And both spot errors in
both
the code.
notify for errors. Very good. So this is done, I think, right? Let's come to virtual machine. So you know what, Doa? Did you notice this thing? Let's say you have Windows. Do you have Windows?
Yeah.
Yes, you have Windows. You made this IA, the software program, right? So you made some kind of software by Crental system, but you can send this copy to me and I have Mac. So I can run this program. Mac is provided by Apple Incorporation. Windows is IBM, Microsoft, right? So these companies are different. These are two different kind of vendors, but still people are working. People are distributing their softwares on multiple machines, right?
Yeah.
How it is possible? Because of virtual machine. Like what is machine? First you understand ki why we are calling it machine. Actually they are calling CPU machine. CPU is a machine. Okay.
The control of everything.
So Windows, maybe you in your laptop you have Intel processor. Okay.
Yeah.
Mac, they have their own CPU. I don't know what company they are using. I don't know. I think they have their own hardware. Okay. I'm not sure about this. Because I'm also new on Mac. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm not sure ki what CPU they are using, but obviously their hardware is different. Their machine is different. Machine is different means instruction set that can read is also different, right? So what
Yeah.
we will install virtual machine. For example, JDK. Do you remember when you install NetBeans? Before installing NetBeans, I asked you install JDK 11.
Yeah, I remember.
This JDK 11, it's a Java development kit. It has two things inside it, JRE and JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So once your machine, your computer has Java Virtual Machine, from wherever you are writing, creating software in Java, whether it is in mobile, Android, iPhone, iPad, Windows, Linux, you can distribute on any JVM, virtual machine. So you have to learn, this is again important question. Virtual machine is a software based computer that run within your main computer. Means you have Windows. Okay, well and good. What computer you have? You have Intel processor. You are actually installing some kind of software, for example, JVM. JVM comes under JDK. And what it will allow? It will allow you to run different operating system and software in an isolated and safe environment. So if I'm going to install JVM in my Mac, you are installing same JDK. You installed JDK 11 in your machine. I'm also installing JDK 11 for Mac. Now, if you are sending your bike rental system software to me, I will able to run it. Maybe your exam or your IA will go for examiner. Maybe your examiner have Mac. Your examiner can easily run this software. Why? Because they have virtual machine.
Will they ask for the process of the virtual machine?
No, never. They will just ask you to define, and this question will come of 2 marks. Okay, and this is the answer. It's a software based computer, means that, and it is virtual. It is virtual means it will, you are actually not buying any hardware. It's virtual. Okay. So it's a software based computer which is running in your main computer. and it will allow you to run different kind of operating system and other software in isolated and safe environment.
Okay.
Not supported by your main computer. Okay, you have to learn it. This is important.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope you are understanding it little bit.
Yeah, I do.
It
It
is
makes more sense with the IA.
Java Virtual Machine, JVM, that I was talking about. Whenever you are compiling any Java program, it is converted into bytecode. I told you, compiler convert the read the file in one go, then it will generate some object file, right? So in our case, that file is known as bytecode. Okay, so when the Java program is compiled, the
Uh-huh.
created is called a bytecode. The JVM, Java Virtual Machine bytecode, can be interpreted by the JVM interpreter. The Java, it allowed to run on any machine. So if you are if you are just writing this part, then also this is complete. Okay.
That's correct. Okay.
Otherwise, they will not ask you directly. This thing is enough for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, next is efficiency. Okay, this question will not come directly. They will give you some pseudocode. Okay, any pseudocode. Let's say hi is equal to 0. Then you are running some loop I from 0 to 0 to some 9. Then you are checking if a of I is greater than hi. Then you are updating hi or something like this. Some code is given. Some code is given. Okay. Then question will write a comment, and it can also come. Write a comment on the efficiency of your algorithm. On the efficiency of your algorithm. So this question can come in your exam because it didn't come in 23-24. This means it can come. They will give you some code and they will ask you write a comment on the efficiency. So obviously, never say my code is inefficient. Who will say this? My okay. We will always my code is efficient. This code is efficient. But how you will support your answer? So this is the support. You will say if you are using loops. So obviously you will use loops, you will use arrays, right? If you are using loops, you will support your answer. My code is efficient. Why? Because I'm using loops, and through loops, I'm writing compact code.
Oh, so they're gonna ask efficiency regarding my code, like if I write it.
100%. This question was very common during 2019 and 2020. 2018 paper to 2020, this question was very common. But like from 23-24, they didn't ask this question. They will give you one flowchart. They will ask you convert the flowchart into pseudocode, and then they will ask you, okay, your pseudocode is done. We will check it later. But first, you tell me, write the comment on the efficiency of your code. Then you will give your answer in context of loops and array. If you are using loops, you will say like how you can claim that your code is efficient if execution time is fast. If your execution time is fast. So how execution time is fast? When you are using loops. Loops means you are writing compact code, right? So compact code. And if you are using arrays, then also execution time is fast. Why? Because array stores elements in continuous manner.
Oh yeah.
Right? So that's why this is fast. Because if you are writing algorithm for searching and sorting, or it doesn't matter whether it's a searching or sorting, main thing is that array stores element in continuous manner. This means CPU will not take any time to find things here and there. It will find the numbers very fast because all of them are all together. Okay. Look for compact code, so that's why we saves memory. So if by any chance you are saving memory and the execution time is fast, this means code is efficient. So that's why in your you use loops example, arrays example, and flag example also. Like if you are using some kind of flag. So this means You can quickly break the loop and you can come out. Okay. So basically,
Okay.
not an answer, it is just a help to give your answer. Okay.
Okay.
Again, I'm telling you, linear search, binary search, description is very, very important. So you will learn it from here. Okay. Description.
Yeah, they always ask it.
Right. Bubble sort, selection sort. So we are not discussing this. Let's come back to the computer science guide. Sub program we discussed. Okay. So theory topic is discussed from chapter 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's come to chapter 3. Do you want to take a 5 minute or 2 minute break?
I'm okay. We can if you want, but I'm okay.
Okay. I have to just take a glass of water. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Now let's come to chapter 3. And in chapter 3, we will discuss everything. But what is important for this year? Because I was just reading 23 and 24 paper. Okay. I've gone through all 23 and 24 paper. This is 24 paper packet. Structure is, I have gone through this. This is 23 paper. So for this year, this part is important. This part is important. So what are the different method of network security? Let's say you are running one organization, and in your organization you are using various computers and you have created network. Okay, all the computers are connected. Okay.
Okay.
So how you can secure your network? In your book you can have 15 methods, but in your IB they are providing you only 3 methods: encryption type, user ID, and the trusted media access control MAC address. So first let me tell you what is this MAC address. This question is very, very, very important for this year. This also, and the characteristic also, 3G is very outdated, so maybe they will not ask. If they will ask, 3G is nothing. Video conferencing was launched. It is very old technology. Okay. So
Okay.
2G, there was no video call. No one can do video call. Once 3G came, people were able to connect themselves on Skype. Skype was the like first one.
Yeah.
That's it. But it will not come. I'm not predicting it. 3G mobile. It is very outdated technology. They can ask
Yeah.
characteristics of Wi-Fi. They can ask you characteristics of WiMAX, and this is important from my side because they never ask WiMAX till now. This means this year they can ask. Okay.
Okay.
Because every year, Doa, you can you can observe every year few new questions are coming, right? So this means they ask WiMAX. Now this year they can ask. They can directly ask, describe any two characteristics of Wi-Fi. They can ask what is the difference between Wi-Fi and WiMAX. Why my WiMAX is better than Wi-Fi? So they can make one question from here. You have to learn description of the hardware we are using on network and the software. This question can also come. I'm telling you, this entire part is important for 2025 May paper.
Because they haven't asked that much networking questions before.
It didn't come 2023, it didn't come in 2024. This means high probability, high chances this part from this part question paper will come. Okay. Now
Okay.
in 2023 or maybe 2024 they ask this fiber optics. This year they can ask what is the difference between metal conductor and fiber optic, or maybe they can ask about metal conductor. Okay. Packet switch
Okay.
asked in 2023, 2024 also. In 2024 they asked what is data packets. In 2023 they are asking packet switching. So I don't think this year it will come, but it is all time important question. But if someone sensible is making this paper, I don't think this question will come this. Okay. Back to
I
back.
don't think you're very sensible after that business paper. I've lost hope in IB and their sensibility.
It's okay. But BM people are different. CS people are different. Okay. So protocol packets, this come protocols necessary. This question came in 2024 November of 26 marks. This means this
Yeah.
year will not come. Okay.
I remember that question with like packaging. They put the two questions very close to each other.
Right. This question
Package.
is important from my side. Why compression of data is okay. Now
Uh,
let's quickly discuss all the points in a reverse order. Okay. So we are discussing.
okay.
Tell me any two advantages of uh, wireless network. Any two advantages.
Of wireless network
Mm.
that it has very bad bandwidth, like you have limited bandwidth
Two
for the, oh
advantages.
no, I mean, oh, advantages. It's very remote, so
Okay, so
you
we can
can,
use accessible remotely. Accessible remotely. So if this question will come of 4 marks, so this can be your terminology, and then you can explain that why. I think I don't need to discuss it. You can explain something that we don't need
yeah,
to rely on cable from anywhere. We can connect with any other computer without any cable setup. Okay. Now,
yep.
second advantage.
Second advantage that it's okay, easily accessible, it's easy to connect.
It,
Can't you say that?
yeah, it is easy to connect.
But that won't really.
Uh,
Mm,
to connect is, uh, I think it is going to very similar to this first point. Instead of this,
the
we say
install.
less
Mhm.
expensive, less expensive. So why it is less expensive? Because we don't need to pay for extra hardware. Like we don't need to pay. No need of extra hardware like cables, connectors, right? Like if you are
Yeah.
in your network through cables, you need to buy cables, their connector, their repeater. Okay, here you don't need to do this. You just need to install some software. That's it. So less expensive setup. I'm
Okay.
talking about in setup only. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So you can take a screenshot.
okay, I wrote it down.
Okay. Now quickly tell me two disadvantage and it can come off 4 marks again. And they can ask you evaluate also. If they are saying evaluate usage of wireless network, so what is the meaning of evaluate? Evaluate means you will
Advantages.
some strength and some weakness. Okay.
So a disadvantage would be that it's limited range, meaning that
Limited.
like the bandwidth is very limited. So you have to be close to the area of the network of the Wi-Fi.
Right, but you will not some bandwidth while explaining this. It is not related to bandwidth. You will just say limited range. You have to be nearby the router if you want to get good speed or good data transmission. Okay, that's it. What is the second disadvantage?
Interference, anyone can access it, so
Right.
it's easy,
So,
like it's not so safe.
um,
I said interference for my, but maybe there's interference, health concerns, and limited range.
easy for
I
cyber
guess.
attacks, you can say
Yeah.
cyber attacks. Why? Because data is traveling on radio waves. Data is traveling on radio waves. So anyone can intercept the data. Hackers can intercept the data.
Yeah.
Okay, so the data transmission is always on stake in wireless network. Because if data is traveling through cable, no one can intercept. Someone will not cut the cable and take the data. Okay. But if data is traveling on the cloud, so anyone can take the data. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hear this? You have to
Mhm.
any two hardware. So one hardware can be router, right? And one hardware
Yeah.
repeater, network repeater. So what router do? Router is used to route the data packets to the destination device. For example, Doa,
Okay.
I'm sending you email. So what, and I'm like indirectly I'm explaining packet switching. So this is my and
Packet switching, I remember. Like there's many steps to it that you
right.
send out the message, it breaks it into smaller pieces, and then each piece has like an IP header, the
Which,
IP address. Sorry,
who
header,
is,
IP address.
who is breaking the your data into pieces? Who is breaking your data into pieces?
Isn't it the router? No, yeah,
Router.
the router.
So the sender router will divide your data into small pieces like packets. These packets will take different routes, and once they will reach to the destination router, router will assemble them, will reassemble them. Okay, and then this router will send your data. Like in your home, you can have multiple devices. You can have phone, can have laptop, but router will send this data to particular device. Okay.
Okay.
What is the job of repeater? Repeater is used to boost the signals. Okay.
Oh,
Once your data is going like slow, your data is not traveling, it will boost the signal so that data can travel fast. Okay. Two
okay.
software components. So you can see two software components. We are here. You can see these are the hardware component. You can learn modem also. Modem allow you to connect to the internet. Wireless router, similar function. So we discussed router, adapter. You have adapter also. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can
Okay.
you can learn any two hardware. You can see repeater. Repeater, signal booster, connect to a router or the access point. It is used to receive an existing signal from the router and access point and to rebroadcast it. Okay. So whatever data your router is sending, at some point repeater will reroute them, rebroadcast it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, software component. Software components used in wireless network, you have to learn any two. So first is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. You should learn it. It's a network protocol that allow a server to automatically assign an IP address to a client device. Learn any two. Quickly read it. Quickly learn any two.
Software components, dynamic host
And not operating system. It sometime mark system will not give marks for this. So you can learn this and you can learn this.
So the software firewall and NC drivers.
Huh? Which
So software firewall and NC drivers. No, sorry, NIC drivers.
network interface card? It's a small chip. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So fine. You can learn any two. Any two. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Now wireless network characteristics. So I think we already discussed. Okay, let's again discuss this thing. Characteristics of wireless network. Wireless network characteristics means data is traveling on radio waves, right? Data
Yeah.
travels on radio waves. First. Second characteristic, what is the second characteristic of wireless network? What do you think?
Radio waves. That it's easy transmission. Like it's very easy to, it has, sorry, it's fast.
It's fast. No, it is
I
not.
mean,
No, it is
no,
slow.
sorry, it's slow compared to
Cables
the cabled ones, because cabled ones are direct transmission. So it's
are-
slow.
So we can say right. So slower data transmission as compared to cables. Slower data transmission as compared to cable. Okay. So this is second. First is data is traveling on radio wave. What third character
Okay.
you can write? You can see notes.
The
From here, we will make point. Third characteristic, greater flexibility and mobility. User can connect from anywhere within the range, right? So this can be third. Fine. And
Yeah.
Wi-Fi uses a shared medium because we are buying only one router and we can connect multiple devices at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Because if you want to make your network through cables, you have to connect your router with different cables, right? But in wireless, you can connect multiple devices, right?
Okay.
Lower speed, we already discussed, if many devices are connected simultaneously. In
That's
any,
true.
the speed is slower. Whether you can compare it with the cable or like in context of devices. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So by this way, you will make your answer. Now let's come to, so this part is done, this part is done, this part is done. What are the different methods of network security? So again, I'm telling you, Doa, this question is very important from my side. You
Mhm.
will write, this question can come of 4 marks or maybe 6 marker. Why I'm saying ki this can come in 6 mark? Because last year, they make 6 marker question from here. Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
So what other things which are important from this chapter from where they can make 6 marker question? Only this part. Only this specifically. This question can come of 4 marks.
So
Okay.
method of network security.
Right. So you have, when this question will come of 6 marks, you have to write each and everything in detail. Sometimes they can ask, evaluate evaluate the different methods of network security. You are evaluating means you are describing all the 3 methods plus you are writing some advantage and disadvantage. Okay. So quickly
Mhm.
it and then you will tell me the summary. This is the first method of encryption. Like you want to secure your network. What is the first way? Encryption. Can you tell me
Yeah.
how you will describe encryption?
Is an encryption like, for example, scrambling information so it's restricted to open access?
No,
Like
open, they can open, but it is meaningless.
they need a key. Well, yeah,
Right. It is
but
meaningless. They can open, but it is meaningless. So encryption is the process of making data
scrambling.
meaningless. Scrabble. Okay. So it is meaningless. This means that's it. This is the definition of encryption. It convert the plain text into cipher text. It convert. This is the process that converts plain text into cipher text. Cipher text is something which is like Scrabble or like meaningless data.
Yeah.
Meaningless data. Okay. Now, how encryption is helpful in wireless network security? So you can see. So you can define it. It's a we are using some encryption algorithm and encryption key to alter a message so that it is not understandable to an unauthorized person. Only the person with the correct key can decode the message and read it. There are 2 types of encryption category. One is symmetric, another one is asymmetric. Now I'm explaining what is symmetric. Let's say this is my computer. Okay, this is sender and this is receiver. This is receiver. I'm going to send you email and let's say I'm using this symmetric encryption algorithm. So what will happen? Sender will use a public key. Okay. And this public key is on the cloud, means anyone can access it. It is on a cloud. With the help of public key, I'm going to encrypt this email. Okay. And then this email is also traveling on the cloud, this encrypted data. Encrypted data is on a cloud, public key is on a cloud, and the receiver will receive this encrypted data. And with the help of this public key, it will decrypt it. It will decrypt the data, means decoding. Okay.
Mhm.
Once it will decrypt the data, it is readable. It is readable. Now look at this. It is very less secure because your encrypted data is on a cloud and your public key is on a cloud. If hacker is hacking both the combination, hackers can encrypt it, decrypt it, right?
Mhm.
Are you understanding this?
Yeah. No, I understand how it works in
right?
encryption.
And why it is
Yep.
less secure? Tell me why it is less secure. Sim-
It's less secure, goes on the cloud, no?
because both the encrypted data and the public key is on the cloud.
Yeah.
So hackers can try various combination to get this public key, and
Aren't there like huge places that do that? Like there's a big system that tries encrypting anything on the cloud because it has millions of different like codes.
there are millions of different code and there are millions of different public key which are traveling over the network. But if hacker will crack this system, then hacker can use this public key to decrypt the data. But understand the asymmetric encryption now. This is the sender. Sender wants to send some email. Once I will press send key, I am the sender, I am pressing send key. What will happen? This request will go to the receiver that someone wants to send you email. Now, what this receiver will do, receiver device, the receiver will device will generate two key. One is, I'm explaining asymmetric right now.
Mm,
The receiver
okay.
will generate the private and the public key. Okay. So public key is traveling on the cloud. Who is sending it? Receiver is sending it. And once sender will receive this public key, sender will use this public key to encrypt the message. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
this encrypted message is traveling on the cloud, this encrypted email. Okay. This encrypted
Mhm.
email is traveling and it will reach to the destination device. Once it will reach to the destination device, with the help of the private key, we are going to decrypt it. So this means the only key to decode the encrypted message is the private key. So, and private key is not on a cloud. Only receiver have this key. Only the receiver device have this key. It is not on the network. So whether if by chance hacker is going to hack this data, intercept this data, then nothing will happen because the private key to open this to decrypt the message is not on cloud. Okay. That
Okay.
asymmetric is very important, like a very secure way of transferring data in an encrypted form. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you will define the encryption as a network security method, you will define encryption. So encryption is a process of, tell me.
Is encryption is the process of turning plain text into ciphertext and processing it on the cloud with its key.
Right.
That can only be accessed by the receiver. That the receiver has, sorry.
No, no, no. Your last line is not very appropriate. You
Oh,
are
but
saying only receiving
the
by
key
receiver. No,
receiver, no.
anyone can receive it, Doa. Anyone can.
But the key for to open that would be at the receiver, no?
No, no, no. For now, don't write this. Only stick to encryption for now. Your
Okay.
line is correct. You are saying encryption is the process of converting plain text into the ciphertext. Then you will write second point, which is meaningless. Ciphertext is something which is meaningless. Okay. So this is important that it is not understandable to any person. Only the person correct key can decode the message. So you will write these three lines first. Okay. Process of
Okay.
plain text into cipher, which is not understandable and it is meaningless data, then it is only read by the device which have a correct key. Okay, correct key. Then you will say
Okay.
encryption algorithm are of two types. Are of two types. One is symmetric, another one is asymmetric. Symmetric and asymmetric. Okay. Then you will say symmetric means only one key is used for both the encryption and decryption process. Symmetric is using only one key for both encryption and decryption. Asymmetric key means two key, one for encryption and one for decryption. And The decryption key is always with the receiver device. Is this clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advantage and disadvantage of encryption. So obviously you will say that confidentiality encryption ensure that data is read by the authorized person only. First advantage. Second can be it ensure the integrity of data. Integrity of data, it ensure that it is not modified during the transmission. Is this clear?
Yeah.
It maintains integrity because it ensures that no one is modifying it during the transmission. And another is it makes sure that it is not readable during the transmission. Disadvantage, encryption require additional processing power, obviously, because it is based on complex algorithms, right?
Yeah.
Which can slow down the data transmission. Next can be cost. Encryption can be expensive, especially for large organization. This is not very appropriate. Managing keys can be challenges for large. Okay, you can make your answer from these 2 points, the mixture of these 2 points. Okay, managing these keys can be problematic to large organization where they have multiple devices. Okay.
Yeah.
We can consider disadvantage from your book. I have taken screenshot from your book. It takes more
Mhm.
to encrypt and decrypt. Keys must be shared before they can be used. So, like this is extra work, it's extra process.
Oh yeah, to do it.
Okay. Now, second, let's come to user ID. So, user ID is very simple. You are giving username and password. Okay. So, let's say this is your organization, and in your organization, you have lots of computers. These are connected with each other. So, it's a network, right? What
Okay.
you will hire one person. This is the person, and you are saying, uh, Dua, just give me 1 minute.
Mhm.
Okay, Dua, I'm back.
Yeah.
So, in your company, you have created one network, you are connecting multiple devices. Then you are hiring one person and you are calling it network administrator. Okay. So, This network administrator will take care of all the connection if there is any problem, and he will monitor that data is like people are sharing appropriate data or not. Now what you will do, you will make one server. This is your server, and you will give username and password. Okay, so these client computers, these are the client computers, and they have limited rights. They have limited rights. So what rights they have? They can share, they can download the things, but they cannot attach another new computer to the network because they have limited rights. Network administrator will have full rights with the username and the password, so that if something goes wrong, the network administrator can correct it. Okay. So this is all about securing our network. User ID is commonly used as a network security method to provide access control. Means we are giving different access rights to people and ensure only authorized user can connect with the network. Okay, and what are the advantage? User IDs can be used to control access to network resources such as file, folder, and application. For example, in your, for example, in my school, like authorities have different rights to check the network. Okay, but the users have different rights, students have different rights. Okay, so this help prevent unauthorized access and protect sensitive data. For example, a student can't see fee details of each other, but authorities can check fee details of every person who is like submitting online fee and all. Okay, cost effective user ID based security is often included in operating system so that there is no additional cost. For example, encryption is expensive, whereas this is not very expensive. And what is the disadvantage? It's a single point of failure. If you are completely relying on the user ID and password, and let's say someone knows this user ID and password, so in a one go, your network will crash. Okay. So
Okay.
ID can be a single point of failure if they are compromised or stolen. This topic is very important, all these things. Now, first you have to understand what is MAC address. MAC. MAC is not that MAC, Macintosh operating system. It is not that MAC. It is the full form of Media Access Control. Media Access Control Address. Okay, it is not Macintosh. In every computer DOA, there is a small chip. There is a small chip, and we call it NIC, Network Interface Card. Okay, Network Interface Card. On this card, there is a number, and we call it MAC address. This number will identify the device over the network. It's a unique number which is used to identify the device over the network. Do you remember in your phone you have a IMEI, some kind of number phone?
Yeah.
So by this way you can identify ki, okay, your phone is here, the location is here, right? So same way in the laptops, in computer, you have a chip NIC, and manufacturer of that NIC will give you one unique number. We call it MAC address, and it is given by manufacturer. A MAC address is a string of 12-digit number. Okay, something like this. You don't need to learn it. It is in hexadecimal format. We can make a list of, like, if you are a network administrator, you can make a list of blacklist and whitelist devices on the basis of MAC address, so that you can define who will connect with the network. MAC address limitation increase, where it is mentioning, let me see. You can see network security can be enhanced by permitting access to only specific trusted wireless devices. Okay, based on their MAC address. I'm telling you, this topic is very important for this exam.
Okay.
Okay. So MAC, every device have a MAC address. As a network administrator, you can make a list. Okay, this is whitelisted MAC address, this is blacklisted MAC address, so that once someone from blacklist will try to join your network will not allow you. Okay? Is this clear?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this entire part is done. You will learn advantage and disadvantage. You still have time. You will learn advantage and disadvantage of each this thing. Okay? Each method. Now, this part. Okay. Quickly tell me what is protocol.
Protocol, wasn't protocol a set of rules implemented?
Yes, set of rules. Only set of rules.
Yeah.
Data packet.
And data packet, that was data switching. Data packet is when like the data traveling has a header IP address of the receiver and the sender. Is that the packet? That is the
Just
packet.
say it's a small piece of data. It's a small piece of data traveling over the network.
So it is correct with like the header IP address
No,
of sender and receiver.
ask you when they
Is
ask
fine.
you describe the structure of packet, then only you will describe.
Okay.
Okay, otherwise, if they are asking just define, so this is the definition. It's a small piece of data traveling over the network.
Okay.
Why protocols are necessary? You can find it from the notes to control deadlock, congestion. So for this year, it is least important because it came in November, but you will just read it, okay? Now, this is important for this year, very, very important. Why the speed of data transmission? Very important. Why the speed of data? And this is also, this thing is important. Okay. So I think you can go,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I can.
Right. So speed of data is, can vary when you are far from your router, right? When you
Yeah.
your house, you have a party and hundred of people are connected with your router, then also speed will change. Okay, it will slow down. Okay, so
Okay.
number of devices connected is the factor. The distance from the router is the factor. The bandwidth is also a factor. Like what is your plan? Okay,
Okay.
this part is very important for this exam. This part always important.
Data.
Every year VPN is coming. Virtual private network. Okay, so you will learn it.
Okay.
Private network means this is your organization. You are working here, and in this organization there are various department, people are connected. Okay, and this is the server, and this is the local network. Basically it's a LAN, local area network. Now one of the employee is working from home, work from home. Okay, so
Okay.
and let's say this is the server, this is the server of our company. Okay, now what will happen in this computer, which is a server, and through this server all the computers are connected by anyhow. Okay, on this computer we will install VPN server software. It is a technology. VPN server software is installed here, and we will install VPN client software on all the client machines, laptops. Okay, now what will happen if you have a VPN client software? You can connect with your company's network, just like you will have a look and feel that you are in the company only. Okay, and how it is possible? One tunnel will be created, one tunnel. And what is this tunnel? Tunnel is actually a set of protocols. Okay, and this tunnel, these are the protocol which is encrypted, means the encrypted tunnel will be created. If someone wants to take entry in this tunnel, they have to decrypt it. Okay, now you are sending some data, so data is traveling in form of packets, so you know packets are already encrypted. So
Yeah.
why VPN is very secure way of transmission. Why? Because there are two layers of encryption. One from the tunnel protocol, your tunnel is very much encrypted, and then within the tunnel, packets are traveling. And these packets are again encrypted. This means there are two layers of encryption. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, this thing. And so the benefit is that employees can work from any remote location, and then they through the help of tunneling protocol they can connect with their company's local area network, okay, wirelessly. Is this clear?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this thing and benefits and all these things are very, very important. Evaluate the use. So you will working patterns. So people are working from home. They can easily work as per their convenience. Okay. Now,
Okay.
awareness of OSI 7 layer. OSI, you just need to know names, only names. So physical layer. I'm sending you this pic. So you just need to learn from this.
Okay. The physical transporting.
Right.
I only, yeah, management.
Okay. So you will just, because in your computer science guide, it is mentioning you don't need to know the functioning of each layer. So what is this actually OSI model? Whenever your data is traveling over the network, okay? So this is your sender, this is the sender, and you want to send it to some device. This is the receiver. This entire process of sending data from one device to another device is divided into 7 parts. And these 7 parts are here: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. You just need to learn any 2 or 3 layers, that's it. Okay. I don't think they never ask the functioning, but it's okay if you are saying physical related component, physical layer. Data link layer means network interface card and this thing. Routing is happening in the network layer. Transmission error detection is happening in the transport layer. Retransmission of data if nothing, session. Okay. Encryption and
Okay.
presentation layer. Mail will be received by your device application layer. But again,
But they don't use passwords, right? Like we're not meant to know. We're
they
just meant to know.
no, as per my knowledge, they will not ask you this. They will just ask
Yeah.
2 names of OSI model. Only 2 names. Okay. Is this
Okay.
okay? So learn any 2 names. Then okay. All of these are important. I've shared you notes. Quickly read that. Peer-to-peer means peer-to-peer and client server. One important thing. This is also important question. Importance of standard. So it provide a common ground on which different vendors can communicate. Let's say your laptop is of HP. Let's say I have a laptop of Lenovo. Let's say someone has Dell. Okay. So how you are able to connect with different vendors? Because of protocols. So the standards provide a common ground. Standards provide a common ground on which different devices from different vendors can communicate. This is the answer of this question. They can ask this question. It is of 2 marks. Outline the importance of standards in the construction of network. So you will just say it provide a common ground on which different devices from different vendors can communicate. Okay.
Okay.
Different type of network. So you can check notes, learn the definition of LAN, virtual LAN, VLAN. I'm quickly explaining you VLAN. Other things are very common to you. Wide area network means over the country, continent you are connecting devices. LAN
Yeah.
means within geographical area. Wireless LAN means within organization or geographical area, wirelessly you are connected. In your home, you are using WLAN. This thing is important. Internet definition, extranet, all these definitions are very important. You have to learn it now. Okay.
Okay.
VLAN, I'm quickly explaining. Maybe you will not understand. Let's say this is the company or any organization. And let's say we have 3 floors. This is floor 1, this is floor 2, this is floor 3. Let's say this is department 1, this is department 2. This is department 3 of the same company. Here you have 3 computers. Here you have 2 computers. Here you have some computers. Okay. Now
Okay.
you are connecting all of them. Then we call it LAN, right? Local area
Yeah.
network is something where you are connecting multiple devices within limited geographical area or within building. But what if this department has a problem? Because if you are connecting all the computer together, so if you have some sensitive information in this department and they don't want to share it with department 2, but they can access because all of them are connected on the same network, right? So what will happen? What we will do, we will buy a smart switch. There is a smart switch and it will have multiple ports. We are assigning these 3 ports. We will install one special software and we will assign these 3 ports to these computers only. Okay. And then these 2 ports for this computer. So what we are doing, we are making a virtual separation.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what is needed for this? A smart switch. A smart switch is a hub. Have you ever checked your router at your home?
Yeah, I saw it.
At the back of the router, you can find some ports, like this type of ports, right?
Yeah, like certain numbers and integers.
You can have multiple ports. So you are assigning them with the help of some coding or some algorithm. You are assigning these specific port to these 3 computers. So it looks like it's a LAN. It's a LAN because they are all are connected with the same switch. But when data will travel, these ports will not be able to access data from these ports. Is this clear? So
Yeah.
virtual LAN, VLAN. Virtual LAN is exactly same as LAN. You will write the same definition. It's a local area network where computers are connected within limited geographical area or a building or an office. But we have a smart switch and we are creating virtual separation among ports so that a few devices will not share their information with other devices on the same LAN. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Other things are simple. Storage area network. Like if you are sending Gmail server is different. Storage means big databases. So Google database may be different in your country. So my database in my country, maybe Google database is somewhere else in other some city. So these databases can have their own network. Why I'm saying this? Because if you are going to watch Netflix in USA, you will find some other programs, series, web series. But if I'm going to open Netflix here in my TV or in my laptop, I will find different web series which are very in local language and all, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because their databases are different country wise. Okay, so the large network of different databases is known as SAN. So you will learn the definition. PAN means when you are connecting your remote with a TV, it is a SAN, personal area PAN, personal area network. If you are sending anything through the Bluetooth, it is a PAN, personal area network, because you are connecting your mobile with a TV. So you are within a 20-meter range, means it's a PAN, personal area network.
Oh, okay.
One question is also important. P2P network versus client server model. This is important. What it means,
Here. Mhm.
what it means. Let's say this is your computer lab, CS lab. In the CS lab, this is the computer and it has some files. Then you have other computers. 3 computers here, 3 computers here. All of
Yeah.
computer are connected with this computer. Okay. And this computer is acting as a server And what is server? It is dedicated to provide services to other client computer. It is dedicated to provide services to other client computers. Okay, means you are not doing any other work on this. It will just provide services. So if someone wants to take any file, folder, something, they will take it from this server. This type of connection is known as client server model, where one computer is acting as a dedicated server and it will provide services only. And client are accessing or using services of the data from the server. Right? Is this clear?
I understand.
Okay, now let me teach you P2P. P2P means peer-to-peer. Let's say this is your lab. Three computers are here. All are connected with each other through wirelessly or maybe wired, obviously wired. So, are connected means this computer can take service or data or data from other computers, and it is provides services also. It provides services. Means someone else also can take. Means this computer is itself acting as a server and at the same time it is acting as a client computer. Okay, and all of these are working like this. All of them are server and client. Server, client. Server, client. Means any computer can access the data, plus any computer can provide the data. So this type of model is known as peer-to-peer network.
Okay.
So peer-to-peer network means all the computers, all the devices in the network are acting as a server and as well as client, means they are ready to provide services, plus they are accessing services from other computer. This is known as P2P. Okay?
Okay.
Fine. So network topic is also done. Network will come 15 to 20 marks tomorrow. Okay, you will just read everything because we have discussed everything. Okay, now bit. I think you can manage this bit by yourself, and
Yeah, that's okay.
right. So you can manage. I hope you are not facing any difficulty in logic gate problem and all.
No, not really. I can do trace tables. They're not hard.
Okay,
They're fine.
you will again. I'm telling you same thing. What is important for this year from chapter 1?
It's the data transmissions.
From chapter 1. This is all time question. This is all time important question.
The out compatibility issues, yeah.
All time important question. Parallel learning, pilot, direct changeover, and phased. You have to learn each and everything. Definition plus advantage and disadvantage. Okay. Sometime they can ask you evaluate. Evaluate means you will write. Evaluate means you will write strength and weakness. This is all time important question. Okay. I hope you are writing, or maybe.
Yeah, I am.
Right. Data migration error, all time important question. Maybe problem can come while data migration. Incompatible file, maybe validation rules are different, maybe dates, the way of writing date format are different, maybe currency and character set are different. For example, if someone is taking over Company of India, so in my website I'm selling course, and in my courses I'm keeping currency Indian rupee. But if someone is taking over my organization, then from USA, they will change the currency format, dollar and all. Okay, so currency format, character set can be different. Okay, so whenever this question will come, you will make answer from this part.
Okay.
Testing. Beta testing came in November 2024, so maybe they will not ask. They can ask you debugging definition, user acceptance testing. Okay, this can come. User acceptance testing means your project, your IA is your new system. Okay, someone will use it. So it is partially developed. Okay, let
Okay.
your system is partially developed. Now you on this partially developed system, you just want to take the feedback from the client. Ki, is it okay till now? So when you provide this partially developed system to your client to get feedback on initial stages so that you can fix errors and bugs, right? So this is known as user acceptance testing. Okay, this
Okay.
important. Inadequate testing can reduce employee. So they can ask, uh, like, what are the consequences of inadequate testing? So you can write your answer on your own. It is simple. This time, question can come from this part. They can ask you if you are designing one system, one software, how you can provide documentation. So with the help of help files, you can see help is here. Every software comes with a help button, help file. Online support, for example, if you are ordering any food, then if food delivering is not happening on time, you can anytime you can start online chat, right? And printed manual can also come, like if you are buying any washing machine, then the how to operate it, printed manual. You have to learn advantage and disadvantage of all these three methods. This is important for this year. If you are creating any system, any new system, first tell me what is new system, because this chapter is all about new system.
A new system, isn't it like when a company decides to transition to a new system, so they would have to move all their data to a
What is new system?
new system? Exact definition, I don't think I
So it's
know.
a combination of software. You work. What is your
Oh,
internal assessment project? It is a new system. You are developing some software for some client. So the combination of software plus hardware and the human resource, who all the people who are going to use that system. So this combination
oh,
is known as new system. This is the definition of new system. New
so
system.
combination of human resources, software, and hardware.
Right. This is the new system. Okay. So if you are making new system, how you can provide training to your end user? End users are people who are going to use the system.
Yeah.
So there are three ways provided by IB: self instruction. For example, bike rental system, you will just give it to your client. Your client will do hit and trial, and he will able to learn on their own. Okay, they can learn on their own basically. Fine. Maybe if your system is complex, you developed one complex software, then you will provide formal classes. Okay, this is the training you all have to attend, how to use this software. Okay, then online training, maybe on a Zoom. On a Zoom, you are
Uh-huh.
sharing your screen and you are explaining how you can use the system. Okay, again,
Okay.
important, this part is important for this year, and you have to learn advantage and disadvantage of all these three methods. And if you're
All of
in
them.
your exam, they will ask you, you can see evaluate means they are asking strength and weakness, strength
Uh-huh.
weakness of each method. Okay, so
Okay.
self instruction means you will learn late. It is time consuming. Self instruction, it is time consuming.
Mm.
I'm doing hit and trial, then I'm learning. Formal classes, if you have a large group of class, then maybe you will not get personalized attention, right?
Yeah.
Online training, you are highly reliable on internet. What if internet slow down, right?
And also miscommunication can happen, like misinterpretation.
Right, right. Maybe some people are not comfortable on that time zone. If you are taking this
Yeah.
training globally, so time is not very appropriate, right? Formal class
Yeah.
advantage is that we can get personalized help for doubt clearance. Advantage of online training is that anytime from anywhere we can access this. Advantage of self instruction is that on our own pace we are learning. We are learning on our own pace. Okay.
Okay.
advantage and disadvantage, you will go through it. Again, I'm telling you, you should read the chapter or first read the notes. Data loss, all-time favorite question of IB. It is all-time favorite
Yeah.
to discuss this thing. And right, for this year, please learn it because this year, this thing is important. Releases and updates. There are three things: patches, release. For example, you make bike rental system DOA. Okay, it's a new system. Now, do you remember your criterion A? Criterion E, sorry, E, right? And you have a topic further improvements, right? Like in future, what we can add in future. So in future, if you are adding some new functionality, we call them updates. Like in your phone also, every time you are getting updates, you have to update your WhatsApp, you have to update your this app, that app, right?
Yeah.
So you have to learn these three for this year. This is important because it is new. From past so many years, they didn't ask this question. This time they can ask. Students should be aware of a variety of ways in which updates and patches are made available for any software. This include automatic updates. Like what are the ways of getting updates? Automatic update, like one pop-up window will appear and then automatically update will start. Maybe if you are buying any software, maybe company will send you email that okay, updates are available, please click here and update it. Okay,
Okay.
so please check notes for this. I don't remember exact definition or difference between update, release and patches, so please check notes. This is important from my side. Okay,
Okay.
hardware definition means physical component, software definition means set of programs, peripheral means any device which is peripheral means, tell me.
Oh, peripheral device is any, like, for example, hardware device that is externally attached.
Right, externally attached. Very good. Network means
Mm.
collection of multiple devices connected with each other, right?
Yeah.
Human resource means all the stakeholder who are using the system, developer, end user, client. Okay.
Okay.
If you are connecting your computer with a network, what the different roles computer is performing? So computer can be router. Router is itself a computing device. Computer can be a client, computer can be a server, computer can be a DNS server also. So this question can come, it can come of 2 marks or 1 mark. So you have to write any one answer out of this. Like how computer is acting over the network word as a server, as a client, as a DNS server, as a router, as a firewall. Okay, this is the answer actually. Okay,
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
important from my side for this year. This is important. Social
Social and ethical.
issues. So you will just read the book. Okay, social and ethical issue or read the notes. Okay, role of end user. It is very all-time favorite question of IT. Like what if we are not including end user? Two,
Uh-huh.
surveys, interview, direct observation. You have to learn two advantages and two disadvantages of all these methods: survey, interview, and direct observation. Like in your IA, you have conducted interview and transcript is there. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I think we have discussed everything, right? This year system flowchart definition come now 2024 May, 2024 November. This question can also come. DFD and structure chart definition. So what is DFD? Data flow diagram is a diagrammatic representation of flow of data from one process. It describes the flow of data from one process to another process of a system, another process of a system in diagrammatic manner. In diagrammatic manner. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Structure chart. Structure chart is actually a main module. So how you will describe structure chart? Structure chart means diagrammatic representation of showing various subsystem of one big system, or you can say hierarchical representation of system into various subsystems. When you divide your big system into small subsystems in a hierarchical manner, we call it structure chart. Okay.
Mm.
And how you will link it with pseudocode? No, it is a link. Flowchart symbol, these questions, they can judge your knowledge in a different manner. Pseudocode means a step-by-step solution of any problem in a plain text. Prototype is just an initial model of any design. Okay. So why prototype is important? This question is important. Why prototype is important? So that you can get feedback. You can get feedback on initial designs. Okay. It's a model or initial design of your product.
Mm.
This year, this question is important from my side for 2025. Important situation. I'm explaining with example. Tell me what you did in your criterion B.
I created flowcharts and I showed like the data structure
Right.
of the,
Are showing the designs of your system.
yeah.
Yes. So you were designing how your new system will look like and what is the processing, and you are diagrammatically representing your new system. Then you come to the development phase. Once you start coding, do you remember, once we start coding, then we decide, okay, this design is not possible. Let's go back and edit the design. Right? So this process is known as iteration. Like once you are developing something, and at that moment you come to the conclusion that this design is not possible to develop, so you are going back and you are editing. So from development to design phase, you will come back to edit the design. This entire process is known as iteration during the design process. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And you usually do the design cycle before you start the code.
Yes, always, always. Always
Uh-huh.
design the system, then we come to the development. But while developing the program, we sometimes we stuck in the code and we have to go back, and because this design is not like realistic, it is not feasible to convert it into workable solution. Okay, sometimes it is not possible to convert it into workable solution, so we will go back and we will iterate the design, we will edit the design. Okay.
Okay.
This is all-time favorite question of IB, so I think you are comfortable in that. What if we are not using end user? Social and
Yeah.
issues are important this year. So you will read it because you can read it. I think you can manage this question better than me. Okay. Social.
Yeah. No.
So you can manage. Now usability issue. Again, usability means the user friendliness of any system. How much your system is user friendly. Like the screen size is big or not screen size, like font size is okay, and something. So they can ask user, you ask it like what are the issues of usability in mobile phone, small screen, font size is small, and so and so. This question is also very common in IB. Like what are the methods so that we can improve the accessibility of systems? So if we are including braille, keyboard, voice recognition, text to speech, touch screen, this is the answer. And other, again, this you will just read it from book, because these questions are like very common sense type of questions, so you can manage on your own. Okay. Only this computer organization is left. Doa, if you have any from
No, I think
this is important from my side. Memory management operating system is very important topic, because it didn't come in 2024. So this is very important. You can find it from notes. Okay.
yeah.
Last year they ask you the features of a spreadsheet. This time they can ask you CAD2 features, web browser feature, DBMS feature, or word processor features. So learn any two features of all these softwares. Okay, the functionalities. GUI component. So this is the answer you can read. Bit is the smallest unit of measurement of data in computer. And I hope you are comfortable in this, right?
Yeah, I am.
Right. From this, from chapter 2, you have to learn registers, cache memory. Cache memory is very, very important. Cache memory is always very, very, very important question. How it can speed up the computer because it is very much closer to your CPU. Okay.
Okay.
Fine, Doa. This is all from my side and from your side.